Hello, everyone, and welcome to Elevate Your Business. I'm Ed Jarecki, and I'm excited to guide you through today's episode. It's designed to inspire and empower you on your journey to business success. Today, we're joined by the founder of JFT Web Marketing, Lois Wyant, a digital marketing expert who specializes in helping businesses boost their online visibility, strengthen their reputation, and convert more website visitors into customers. With expertise in SEO, reputation management, website optimization, and email marketing, our guest is here to share valuable insights on how businesses can thrive in today's competitive digital landscape. Get ready for practical tips and strategies to elevate your online presence and drive growth for your business. So join me in welcoming Lois Wyant to the show. Lois, it's wonderful to see you again. How are you doing?
Just fine. Thank you, Ed. It's really great to be here. I really appreciate it.
Well, it's my honor, my pleasure. Thank you so much for being here with us today. To start with, could you share a little bit more about your business and yourself?
Well, sure. For about 30 years, over 30 years actually, we got tired of chasing brides and little children and decided it was time to kind of cut back. And that actually was about the time that digital was becoming affordable to people. So we did jump in right at the beginning, and our first digital camera was $25,000. Imagine that.
Oh,
I
my
know,
Lord.
really. And it was not near as good as the digital. I mean, it was worse than the phones that we have these days, but that was a long time ago. The digital cameras became more affordable, so the competition really skyrocketed. And so as my husband retired, I was like, oh, I have to keep doing something. So I was in charge of the marketing for the studio and just kept doing that. We were one of the first studios to have a website and email marketing and all of those things. So I just love the digital internet platform because it just keeps changing and I just love learning. So that's where I really thrive.
Outstanding. Love that. Thank you for sharing that. And so, how do you define success today?
I learned the definition of success many years ago when I went to a Tom Hopkins seminar. And I just really embedded it on my heart. And success is the continuous journey towards predetermined worthwhile goals. And so I don't really feel like you meet success, but you continue towards your new definition of success.
Has your definition evolved over time? And if so, how?
My definition hasn't evolved, but my goals, that journey has evolved, especially as technology has changed. I mean, AI just lights up my soul right now because there's so many fun things that I can do with that. And so I'm really embracing AI at this point.
Yeah, a lot of business owners, if they're not, they need to, right?
That is true. I mean, I just was on a webinar the other day, and he said that the competitors are not what's going to put us out of business. We're going to put ourselves out of business because we're not joining into the technology.
The other thing I took away from what you just shared relative to your definition of success is that really there are two things that are intertwined. Your goals from a business perspective may evolve and continue to be out there in the future, but you also wrap around being a grandmother as part of that. So it's really intertwining that personal life with your business life to give you the flexibility, adaptability, schedule freedom to enjoy that type of intertwined life. Any response to that? Is that a fair statement?
Yeah. So for me, I have four pillars to my life. So it's spiritual, health, family, and business. And really that order is really important. My relationship with God is the most important thing to me in the world. I feel that it's so important for me to take care of my body because if I'm not healthy, then I can't enjoy my time with my family or I can't work my business because I'm sick. So my health is very important to me. My family takes a priority over my business. I would never want my family to say, oh, we didn't get to spend time with Gigi because she was working. And so I think that the order that you put your priorities is very important.
Outstanding. Thank you. And I agree with your sentiments relative to those four pillars and the order. Business is second, family is first.
Yeah,
And,
it makes a difference.
and the health and spirituality is part of that overall health, right?
Oh, definitely, definitely.
So when you think about your journey, you've obviously encountered some challenges and lessons learned. What are the top one or two that you can pass along to our audience?
Well, I think that Communication is really important, especially as a business owner. You need to talk to the people that are around you, as far as not only if you have employees, but also your spouse, and just, share within them what what's transpiring in your business. What my husband and I, we've been married now for 40 years. And so now we just have a really good process where we could say, okay, so I'm really uptight today, so I just need some space, or I'm in a lot of pain today physically. So if I get snappy, just know it's not you. So, especially the people you love, you got to communicate well with them. But then also you need to communicate with your customers and letting them know what really is possible, giving them what you might be doing, because they have different expectations.
Yeah. And then I would add to that, for those businesses out there that have employees, those employee stakeholders, and if they've got vendors that are strategic partners or strategic alliances, the communication there is just as important, because that keeps everybody aligned on the same page and focused forward on whatever the vision, mission, and goals are. Fair statement?
Oh, very fair. Yes, very true.
Anything to add to that?
I think as going back as to employees is understanding your employees. There was a time period where I had a boss, and he had an employee that was a very internal. And so as the boss was talking, he would constantly be looking down. And I could tell that that was the way he was processing. And the boss would call him out and say, "Oh, you're ignoring me. Why aren't you paying attention?" And, it's just understanding your employees as well is very important.
Yeah, agreed. Two-way communication is the key. One-way communication can get you in a lot of trouble.
For sure.
Any other challenges and lessons learned you'd like to share?
I think that the challenges that we're all facing now is with the AI, because so fast. There are so many things that you can do with it. And part of the first step is learning how to communicate with AI. And in fact, just this week, I wrote a little PDF. I can't even remember what I named it. It's so new for me. It is called the AI Prompt Playbook. And I give you steps on how to really talk to AI with what you want it to do. Because like a new employee, you need to give it all the details of your business, tell it what position it's taking. And I think the most important thing is to ask it if it has any questions. And I've never had a time where I started a new thread that it didn't have like 10. The chatbot situation, that has changed so drastically just in the last couple of months. No longer do you have a chat that says, "Oh, I'm your virtual chat," and it gives you like 4 different things for you to choose from. Now they're like talking to a real person. And I was talking to somebody who is teaching me more about the new chat, and he said that he did an affiliate program conversation with somebody, and they gave the link to the chat, and the chat was talking to this person, and it really feels like you're talking to a real person. And the person said, "Oh, well, I just really can't afford it right now." And the chat actually reached back in its memory and said, "Oh, well, we do have a special." And it pulled out a special that wasn't current and sold the program for him. So even the chat made its own sale
Wow.
because they have so much information. And, they're coming out now with chat phone calls. Can you imagine, let's say, calling a auto repair, and the chat picks up the phone and says, "Hi, Kelly," because it knows the phone number. I mean, how personal is that to whoever answered the phone? Said, "Hi, Kelly," and the chat says, "I'm glad you're calling today. It's time for you to change your oil. Is that what you're calling for?" And she goes, "Oh, I mean, it knows all of this because it has all access to your records." And the personalization there is just so amazing. I mean, for somebody to pick up the phone and call your name and know that it's time for an oil change, it has a friendly voice, that will up your customer service to the extreme. And a small business now is kind of like the old days. Remember when they had the spotlights that would shine when you had a new big business, and there'd be kind of like a Batman thing in the sky? It's kind of like doing that online. You're like shining this big light saying that your customers care. And it doesn't take any more of your time because it's done with AI. It's just the future of businesses is going to be just amazing.
Yeah, that front end is absolutely incredible. And then on the back end, I was producing a newsletter this morning and I use a tool called Perplexity, absolutely
Mhm.
incredible tool. And I wanted some statistics to go along with the information that I was sharing out to reinforce the facts of it. And it comes back and it gives me all the references and everything as well. So it's
Yeah.
very easy to click on those, go out, and then put references behind each one of the statistics that I was providing my audience. And that is so much more powerful than just 6 months ago that some of these tools were actually operating. So whether it's the front end, which I think that's going to be really interesting to see how it evolves, and the opportunity out of the gate for those that really lead their way into that is incredible until it becomes table stakes. And then on the back end, the operational efficiency you can gain is incredible. And that really moves us into the conversation around innovation. So, especially from a digital marketing perspective, what would be your guidance relative to how best to leverage innovation in this digital marketing arena for our business owners' consideration?
Well, I think it's going to depend on the business. There are certain things that every business needs, like reviews. Every business must have reviews. Every business, I would say today, needs video because I've heard that we now have the attention span shorter than a goldfish. So it's like, I don't know how that could happen, but it did. And sometimes I feel like I might have become attention deficit over the past 2 years because it's just like there's just so many things to grasp hold of. And so we need to really embrace video. And there's some really amazing video tools. I mean, it used to take me like a full day or 2 days to put a video together. And now I can go into find a program and find out what people are searching for, go to Chat or Perplexity, make a list of the answers to that question, take those, put it into video format or video program. It whips up a video with B-rolls and it could even use my voice, pulls it out. That took me 15 minutes now. And then from that information that Perplexity or Chat gave, I can now create short videos, which of course, short videos get more attention than the longer videos. So I can create all short videos that link back to the long video. That took me another 15 minutes. So in 30 minutes, I've got 8 to 10 videos. So video is something that I think everyone needs to really embrace. And then there are different AIs that actually help with your ranking on your website that just amazing as to like what they can do as far as really targeting your area and where your demographics are, because you don't want to go in and like if you're HVAC, you don't want to do just a generic, hey, I fixed your HVAC. You want to make sure that you're targeting not only your town, but also the surrounding towns or even the communities within your town. So it can really narrow it down so that you're getting better results in what you're doing on your SEO.
That's absolutely incredible. What I envision in all of this is a business owner, regardless if you're a plumber, an HVAC, wealth building financial planner, whatever it is, you've got a dashboard that you've defined your business strategy, your marketing strategy to support the business strategy. And then within that, here are all the things that I'm doing. And if you want a presence every day or 5 days a week or whatever that is, that it's all mapped out. And what the system does is here's your next step. Or if you've got a marketing manager or assistant or something like that, that goes to them and you get the opportunity to review it. But
Mhm.
something that is more centrally, because right now I know the challenge that I face along with many other business owners, there's so many of these tools out there. And there's our websites and there's our various social media pages, whether it's Instagram and LinkedIn or Alignable or whatever. And that is just so incredibly challenging. And every one of them has a different set of parameters relative to what you can post, how you post, and things like that. So it's hard to create one piece of content that is actually just readily postable to each one of those sites. Unless it comes through video, then it's a little bit easier when it comes through video and you're downloading it from a YouTube or a school channel or something like that. Any comments or thoughts around that?
No, I do agree that there are some different changes or varieties that you need in the social media. I recently came across a program, and actually they have a free version of it. I'll share that link with you. You can edit them and tell it when to post them. And I mean, you can change the colors so that matches the colors of your brand. I mean, like you said, things are changing daily.
Yeah.
And this one, this one's really good.
I love it. Yes, please share that. And we'll
Okay.
definitely post that out as part of the YouTube channel update we do for this. And I'll include it in the social media platforms that I communicate out to, which is both LinkedIn, of course, and Facebook. I just started doing in the last couple of months. But yeah, I think I'll share that out with our audience, make sure they have the opportunity to take a look at that as well. Hopefully, we don't overwhelm
I know, I know.
them. Anything else? Any other thoughts relative to innovation, relative to how you're leveraging it or how you suggest others leverage it?
Just get in there and do it. You can like sit back and say, oh, this is too hard, or oh, this is going to take too much time to start, or whatever. Take one piece, go in and get it started. Because once you get down to the point where, oh, I'm ready for this, and the technology is, what you're ready to tackle, you're going to be behind. And you just need to step up and check this off your box. I mean, just get in there and do it because it's really not that hard as long as you start talking to AI properly. And I think that's one of the main reasons why I decided that the best journey is to start out with the AI prompt playbook, is because it really talks to you about, and to be honest with you, confession, 90% of it is written by AI. So it's there again, I put this little prompt book together and just, this is what's going to take your business to the next level.
I agree with that. And for those out there who have not leveraged a chatbot at this point, get a modern one because it'll use current data versus some of the older generation models that use old data. But just start asking it questions. Ask it your first question. And if you're thinking about doing a web search, instead of doing a typical Google web search, ask that same question within an AI, and I guarantee you the results are going to be exponentially better.
Oh, for sure.
Final takeaways for our audience. If there was one thing that you could share with them that they really should consider as part of their life and business success, what would that be?
I would say you need to use YouTube, especially because it's owned by Google, and you're kind of double dipping there as far as whatever you put on YouTube, put on Google, and you definitely want to embed some of those videos onto your website because Google loves it when you're using their tools. And you kind of could say, oh, you get extra brownie points
Yeah,
by having their tools on your website.
absolutely. Great message. Absolutely agree with that 100%. Any final thoughts?
I love this stuff. If you want to have a chat with me, I mean, like a real chat, not like a chat bot chat, I would love to have a conversation with you to see, just to give you advice on what could be your first step.
Outstanding. Thank you so much for that. I want to thank you all for joining us today, with a special thanks to Lois Wyant for sharing her insights and success tactics. We hope you feel inspired and motivated to tackle entrepreneurial challenges with innovation and adaptability. Remember, success is personal. Define it for yourself. But always remember, embrace change, seek growth, and adapt to the ever-evolving business landscape. Thanks again to Lois and to all of our listeners, and we'll see you next time as we continue exploring more stories from incredible entrepreneurs. Stay resilient, stay innovative, and have a wonderful day, everyone.